Hey, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of Schmoedown 9 in Canada. And all I got to say is, holy shit, what a match. To quote the promoter and Rocky, that was the greatest exhibition in the history of the sport. Like, I can't praise this match any higher. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I am your friendly neighborhood soda, joined by Dave and joined by Daniel, and returning once again, none other than Taco. How are you boys doing?
I am doing great, Soda. I'm so glad that we decided to make a more of an effort this year to go live after these massive matches because, woof, we got a big show to break down. And Daniel and Taco, hi, guys.
Hey. Well, yeah, pretty much the same thing. Going live after the matches is a lot more fun because it's all fresh in our minds. And, I mean, I only woke up a few hours ago, and I've been like watching Schmoedown since I woke up, pretty much.
So living the life you're born to live.
two of the best matches I've ever watched, and it just makes me want to watch more Schmoedown, which is great because I haven't seen Janine versus Jader yet. So that's going on as soon as I'm done here.
Yeah, so
no
just
spoilers in the chat. No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers in the chat because I actually haven't seen it either. So yeah, we'll just leave that at that. Guys, just want to hop right into it because there's a lot to unpack in what happened tonight.
Hey, Taco, how are you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm good. Oh, am I not? All right, yeah, you guys can see me? All right, cool.
Oh, wait, they're not the same person?
That is a joke.
No, honestly, I was messaging Frenchie the second I was done with this, like, holy crap, and we just went off for, like, a long stretch of just...
Yeah. Speaking of which...
Like, I can't believe that match.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, no. So it's complete spoilers from here on out, right? We can talk about it?
Oh, of course, yeah. For what
for
happened.
The match? All right, cool. 51-50.
Not just a great record, as Mark Ellis said. Yeah, it's the highest scoring non-Iron Man match of all time.
101 points, 101 Dalmatians. Oh my God. And there was also a second fantastic match tonight. This was a great day to be a Schmoedown fan.
Yeah, 100%. You guys, like I said, we might as well just hop right into it because there's a lot to unpack. Let's start off with the cutscene at the very beginning. Dave, if you want to take that away.
Yeah, so Andrew Guy still walking around being like, it's 2018 or 17, whenever he said it was, trying to go into Collider, and then it turns out through conversation with Grace, he's going to be calling some matches coming into the future. What do you guys think of this, and what do you guys think of this progression of Andrew Guy's storyline?
As much as I do want Andrew Guy to commentate on a match, I really don't want this guy to commentate on a title match. Just leave it for an early in the week match or something.
See, I'm concerned because we can start to narrow things down. Yes, it was the movie. Andrew Guy didn't know the movie Get Out, so he's definitely from 2017. Yeah. I've been doing my research.
I just looked it up. So he's getting ready to play the Trek match. The Trek match came out September 5th, 2017.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Do we know exactly when Get Out came out?
Hey, Ben.
I'm looking through Mahershala Ali's.
Everyone freezing, or is it just me?
Kind of IMDb as well, and it's not showing a lot of things. So
Get Out
prior to
2017.
Yeah, it's a 2017 movie. We're definitely in that era, and I think, as much as I'm scared,
February 26th, 2017.
So as much as I'm afraid for Andrew Guy, I do think that this is a great commentator. If you can't get someone from the future who would be referring to all the movies as classics, get somebody from the past who doesn't even know what half the movies are. I want new releases to be spun in every match that he's in.
Oh God. Oh God, that'd be awesome.
Taco, what about you?
I think it's. I actually think it's genius. We've looked at his gameplay, and I don't like talking shit about Andrew Guy because I love Andrew Guy. But it's definitely. I really feel like his head isn't in it game wise, but he's still one of our better characters. Period. Like he's up there with the Makuga of where his gameplay is not as high as his character play, and the idea of putting him as a commentator is genius. Also, since we did the whole Schmoedown thing at the end of the year, and we took him out of commission, and he didn't get into the draft. So it's like, why are they putting such a, butts and seats getter out of the draft? Well, because they're going to use him as commentary. So I think it's actually really genius, and I like the move a lot.
So we got a little bit of trash talk going on in the chat.
That's fun. That's fun. Yeah, but I agree with you 100%, Taco, especially when Andrew Guy says he's not a huge fan of playing digitally. And you know what? The Schmoedown's got to him. Daniel's been talking about it for a long time. They clearly have some kind of power, and I'm glad this is a great thing that I love about the Schmoedown, where I am as excited about this 90-second cutscene at the beginning as I am about Bibiani and Oyama playing or 101-point match.
I don't know about that, but it's a 101-point match.
You know what? Taco? You know what? You're right. You're right.
It's a 101-point match.
I was lying, obviously. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Soda, unless you have any other thoughts about the cutscene, we should probably get into the Oyama versus Bibbs match.
Yeah,
I have a tinfoil hat thing. Can I say real quick?
Of course. Tinfoil is appreciated.
Okay,
here.
So he's clearly from 2017, and he acted that way towards Grace, right? He goes, oh, let's get out. Oh, who's Marshall Ali? I can't even say his name. Damn beer. But I do think that confirms that she knows what's going on with him and that she might have something to do with the Schmoedown, especially with her massive promotion lately. I just wanted it to be said with her massive promotion lately and the fact that she was like, why are you acting all weird?
I'm with Ben on this. Grace is the head of the snake here. Like, especially at the very end where she gets the phone call and it's like, yeah, he's in. Like right there.
Not the head.
Who's calling her?
Clark Wolf was calling her. I've been saying it since day one. Clark is the head of the Schmoedown.
Yeah, but I never said how many heads. Could be a Hydra.
Yeah, again, I talked about this Hydra theory as well. And if we're talking about both the real life Illuminati and the comic book Illuminati started by Tony Stark, they're both councils of people. They're a group. And there is a difference between the head and the face. And I do believe that Grace is too much in the public eye to be the true mastermind behind everything. But to be working in coalition with the true mastermind is very plausible and almost definite.
Yeah. I would call it now. It's Robert Kirkman. No, I'm kidding.
I liked the Thad Williams approach that somebody brought up last week or 2 weeks ago at the last live event, because the match right after the one that Andrew Guy is getting ready for, the Trek match, he actually plays and beats Thad Williams in a teams match. So, I mean, there are a lot of threads to tug on from every moment in time.
I don't even remember Thad Williams.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember that playing. But
Commissioner Thad Williams?
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible.
Forgot about Thad. Like, he was so forgettable when it was happening.
Yeah. Well, how Thad for Thad.
That I love all these theories, but we have two amazing matches to get to, and some of us on the East Coast want to go to bed before 5:30. So Oyama versus Bibiani, guys. What were our thoughts going into this one?
Well, I going in, I'm like, okay, I knew it was going to be a good match. I just didn't. Part of me didn't think it actually would come down to the 5-pointer like it did. I don't know. I thought maybe it might have been earlier, a little bit, or ended a little bit earlier. But it was overall, I was expecting a great match, and it delivered. If it wasn't for the main event, this would have been the match of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really excited. I was really excited. All right, no, I really am excited about this match because Bibiani and Oyama are two of my favorite players, and it's great to see that we still have these upper echelon players who have yet to play one another, and getting to cross off. Because the only time these two would have even come close in singles, I know they've played Final Exam versus Shazam.
Say singles.
Was spectacular when Ben Bateman took the belt because of Bibiani, the sliding doors of it all. If Bibiani beats Bateman, then he plays Oyama. Maybe Bibbs is the champion and then loses to Merle. Who knows? But it was so cool getting to see these two because they have, especially this new Paul Oyama, such a positive energy, but two very different positive energies that I really love.
Explain, like, what do you mean two different positive energies?
Well, because Bibiani, because when you look at Oyama now, he's still a very focused, calculated, I'm going to win. But now you can tell he's having fun with the game. He's having fun playing. And even though I know people like myself and Daniel, we loved, pardon my French, douchey Paul Oyama. We loved that. But he's having fun with the game now, and he's playing at a higher level. Where Bibbs is just like, I'm gonna take this seltzer water and just like shake it up, and then he's going everywhere. He's talking about soap.
Which I was secretly hoping you were gonna do right there.
No, I have a cat.
Commit to the bit, Dave.
Guys, I have a cat. He'd lick that up, and then I'm cleaning up cat puke all night. I'm not doing that.
Again.
Exactly.
I clean up cat puke every day, man. You must have one of those special cats. Jeez.
I literally did it earlier today. But Daniel, how about you? How do you feel about this match?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I will be the one of the last people standing wishing Paul would go back to being the character he was in his first season, because it just is so much fun to watch, like, bad people do so well, I guess, in the Schmoedown. Like, with it's what made the Inner Geekdom Championship earlier so exciting, because you truly had somebody to root for and somebody to root against.
You're talking about the Mike Kalinowski years.
No, I'm talking about Chandru versus Mara.
Oh, okay. We can even go back further with that.
I'm talking about like 4 weeks
couple
ago.
weeks ago.
What is time but a construct?
Yes, especially in this new post-COVID age. But yeah, I will cheer for Oyama no matter what, even though, like, Swag might be the greatest competition to a great faction like Corruption. Paul Oyama is an exception, and if he ever got to join a great faction like Corruption, I think I could get my Paul Oyama back one day.
Well, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I respected his gameplay as the douchey Paul Oyama, but when he first walked out of the game, I'm like, who the fuck is this son of a bitch?
I'm with you, Soda.
Yeah. I know, for me, the overt douche is a little too much.
Oh, so
it was his interview he had on the Rundown that I think is infamous at this point, but he wouldn't answer any of their questions. He didn't he stayed in character, and he was just a complete dick. And it wasn't funny. It wasn't heely. No. I was like, dude, you're just being an asshole. And that's not the type of heel I like. I want to be entertained.
Exactly.
Either a good guy or a bad guy. I want to be like, yeah. If you're just pissing me off, that's not fun for me.
Yeah, that interview was just being a dick for dick's sake. Like, if you're being a heel and you're on a show, I guess he was being his character, but I mean, at least play along a little bit. And that's why I like the Oyama we have now, and especially what we just saw in this match, because as the commentator suggested, it's the best of both worlds. You've got the laser focus of that Demalanta with the new attitude, which is, I like this Oyama.
I just hope he puts spinners and opponents back on the wheel when he's champion, because that was the most, like,
Yeah,
That's the coolest move, in my opinion. The putting it up there and challenging your opponent to be as confident as you are in any category on that wheel. It's such a mind game tactic that I wish more players took advantage of.
Yeah,
I think criticizing him for that was bullshit. Like, I completely agree. I think that was a good move.
Yeah, because you know who else did? You know who else did that? The Patriots in their first defense, and Jeff Snyder was the biggest person complaining about it.
Yeah.
But I love this Paul Oyama, and he goes almost perfect this entire game, only missing his was it his 2 or his 3-pointer? I forget. It was his 2, right?
It's his 2, I think.
His 2.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because his 3 was Hercules, which I hate. So I didn't.
Wait, you hate that movie?
Hercules is my least favorite Disney movie, but it has.
I'm sorry. I just can't. I just can't. I love that movie too much, man.
It has my second favorite Disney song of all time, which is "Won't Say I'm in Love." Oh, yeah. But other than that, fuck that movie. That movie sucks.
I'm not going to voice my opinion on it if you treated him that way. Okay, I'll keep it to myself.
But Oyama playing so perfectly, and that's the kind of match that usually when you say, all right, you can only miss one question or you lose, you're talking about IG or Star Wars. You're not talking about singles. And
you're right.
Oyama in this match, taking Black Cinema, which really stumped Final Exam last season.
Well, he had no choice but to take it, yeah.
Yeah, but it shows how much he has improved as a player just in that little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it could also be a case of like the questions involved both in this match and the last match, because like we've seen Paul Oyama ace and fail classics, right? Like it's such a strange thing that like when you only get 4 questions, it's really tough. The other divisions I find have a little bit more leniency there, but then the questions are also just insane in the other 2. So it's so tough to evaluate sometimes. And every now and then, if you get 1 or 2 bad questions in singles, that's 25 to 50% of your round out the door. So.
Yeah, Leo's right. Paul would. I don't think Paul would have swept it if it wasn't for Winston.
Yeah, and this is something Winston talked about even last year, Winston didn't help out in this match. Darrell helped out in this match, which I love.
Show respect, dude.
Maybe I'm in the minority, but I love when managers are playing someone else as managers. I love Winston being Darrell. I love Adam Witt being Adam Kaiser. I love every single iteration of Tom Dagnino.
What about Kate being Grace?
That's fun too.
That was actually really fun. I loved that so much.
I like
Kate being a hoser. I love all of it. I loved all of that. So I love.
I got one thing to add about the Black Cinema question.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. You give me on this or not?
I actually want to nominate my favorite question of the night, including Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I think my favorite question of the night was the Bones question, who played the character Bones, and it was Snoop Dogg. I freaking love that movie. It's such a guilty pleasure horror movie that's like way too deep than it needs to be, and it's Snoop Dogg playing like a vampire who died, and he's a pimp and a drug dealer, but it's like really deep and about poverty. It's so good. I love
I've never even heard of it till tonight.
Oh my god. Okay.
I watched it when the Dead Meat did the kill count like a couple months ago, and I was like, I'll watch it first, and I ended up loving it. And I highly suggest. So when I saw that, when they said like the character blah 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 Bones, I was like, Yeah, bring up Bones. Yeah. Anyway,
I said
that's
Snoop
my
Dogg
moment.
as a joke, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, it was Snoop Dogg!"
Dave, your cat.
Yeah,
It's okay. He's not.
I
here
had
to
never
internet.
heard of the movie either, and I just laughed and went like, I don't know, David Boreanaz,
Nice.
because he plays Bones in
Bones,
the
yeah.
TV show Bones. But
What a pull! What a pull!
But
David
even better-
Black
Boreanaz.
Cinema.
even better, as Taco starts describing it, I mean, I knew it was wrong, obviously, but as he starts describing it, and the character is a half vampire that David Boreanaz also played, I was just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, an angel.
It was a ripoff.
They brought in Boreanaz as like as an advisor for Snoop Dogg in that movie.
Or maybe he just really likes it, so he tries to just get references to that movie into all of his roles.
Well, the movie didn't come out before the TV show, so as far as I know, that TV show just copied that Snoop Dogg movie.
What are we even talking about?
No idea. Bones.
If you woke up this morning and said, "You know what I think's going to happen? I think Star Wars title match, 101 points, and Schmoes of the North are gonna spend 3 minutes talking about David Bory fucking Alice from Bones. Go get a lottery ticket. Go propose to that girl that you've always loved. Everything's gonna work out for you. This is fantastic, Ben. You're so.
I knew
right.
the second that question came up, I was going to talk about it today.
Yeah.
So
I also get him confused with Nathan Fillion.
Really?
Yeah, they look this. All white guys look the same to me.
Nice. That reminds me.
Look at all of us.
When fucking Winston said not all black guys look the same, I died.
but he's the same person.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I know we're talking a lot about. I know what the people want. And I know what we all want. We want to get to the Star Wars match, but I want to make sure that I shout out. Bibbs was also so good in this match.
Oh yeah.
Like he misses 2.5 questions, right? Because I say half because he went to multiple choice once. Bibbs played so fucking.
Well, he missed
good.
one because he didn't get the chance to miss a bonus.
No, he missed one in the first round, and then he also missed a third round question.
Yeah,
he got his 2 and his 5. Where Oyama got his
yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
No, was it him that missed Lala Quest?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I've got 2 quick things before we move on. What do we all think of the potential Oyama Irwin match? Because I'm really excited about that. And secondly, who do we think is a good matchup for Bibbs' next?
Well, the unfortunate thing is with so many matches, I think probably in the next time we'll see Bibbs will be in the tournament.
Yeah.
So
I wish it wasn't true, but you're right.
I love the Oyama Irwin matchup.
Yeah. For Bibbs, I would like to see him have a rematch against Bateman.
I was gonna say the loser of Bateman Riley.
Yeah.
Would be,
the loser of Bateman Riley would be a good one. Because I don't think Bibbs and Riley have ever played. I've ever played.
No, and give Riley more matches. I mean, or whoever loses. Yeah. So
that actually does seem fair. And then you could go loser of Roca Miller and loser of whatever the other matchup in that ranking is, and then you just start piling everybody together for that. Because I do think there will be another singles title run put together before the tournament. The singles tournament is usually like towards the very end of the year. We're getting a bunch of Star Wars tournaments as well. We gotta figure the weekly matches are going to be singles.
I agree with that. But Oyama Irwin, I think, is such a smart matchup.
Because have they never played?
No, because Irwin had his massive run the year prior to Oyama coming in. and then Oyama was the champion while Irwin was having his singles thing. So they just never have crossed paths, and I think they're very similar players. In terms. Sorry, Daniel, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, much like his matchup with Bibbs, like they both like climbed to the top end of the rankings so quickly that unless you're put into one of those like hype matches going for your next title run, you don't face each other in tournaments except in the finals because you're all given the opposite corners as the top seeds, which is the case with last year's tournament. Had Oyama in one, Irwin in another, and Bibiani was in a third one. So
yeah. I really like that matchup though, because
I wanted to speak a little on Oyama before we move on, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go
ahead. I'm getting a lag, so I'll jump in and then somebody will talk.
It's okay.
We're used to the lag chronologically, but
we're used to the lag.
Yeah. Is this what it was like for you guys with me?
Yeah, and for Daniel, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Taco, go ahead.
All right, I'm currently looking at 3 frozen screens, so I'm just gonna go. But so what I was gonna say about Oyama is I actually really, really, really liked his play here, and it reminded me of the play of. Can we coin Douchey Oyama now? But like of his first run, I remember when it was towards the when he was already champion. There was that. Maybe it was when he was becoming champion, but anyways, there was a vote like on Facebook of if he was going to win or not. And I was like, dude, the guy's undefeated. I'm not gonna ever bet on somebody who has lost. Like I never bet on the Patriots when they went undefeated. I stopped betting against them because we don't know what beats these people. So why would I bet against? And that's how I felt about Oyama. And I haven't seen that Oyama since until today. He was very dominant. And I really, really enjoyed what he was doing. And I can't wait to see him play more because this does remind me of first run Oyama, like of his focus, of his cutthroat. Like I know he's not being a D-bag or anything. He's not being a heel, but holy crap, is he at a high level of play. And I can't wait to see him play. I think he can make a run. I think he can I think he can get to the belt this year. I honestly do.
He really reminds me of whatever look Bateman had in his eye right before he did it. Like I thought a little bit last season, but he just faced a bunch of tough matchups and just I think luck outplayed Oyama last year more than most of his opponents did because he was killing it and just coming up short.
Who did he lose to in the tournament?
Schneider, I believe, and I believe he just spun a bad category and just wasn't able to pull through. And
Schneider was on a run of his life too, so
and
as much as I love Jeff Snyder, I honestly don't think he has another run like that in him.
It was legendary, and I loved it. And he deserved every vote he got.
I think honestly anybody can win a regular Schmoedown match on any day because of the way that it's structured. And once you get into those, I think Jeff's best bet is going the tournament route because I think he does build on that momentum like crazy. And 5-round match at the end of it is, I believe, in his favor most of the time. A 5-round match is a thing you cannot count Jeff Snyder out of, and doesn't matter if it's a final or for a belt. I think if that match with Dan was a 5-rounder as a number 1 contender, it's a little bit different. Like I would still give Dan an edge in that case because of his.
Well, he plays a lot of 5-rounders too. Dan's played more 5-rounders than he has 3-rounders.
Pretty much all in his career.
He's the only person I give an edge to in a 5-round match. And Jeff has played almost as many as Dan has, you know?
Yeah, but you know what?
He's played a lot in teams.
It's true. But you know what? Jeff Snyder didn't play tonight. But you know who did? Andrew DiMolanta and the demon Alex Damon. Let's dive into the match, man. Like, holy shit. Going into it, did you expect it to go as far as it did? Like, I knew it would be good. I knew it would be close. Wasn't expecting
Holy
this.
shit.
I was expecting a question in the first round to determine the match, and when that didn't happen,
at the 5th round, I knew it was going to go forever.
Oh yeah, no kidding. But anyways, Daniel, you continue.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, by the time we were at 11-11 after the first round, I knew basically this was going to be 51-50. I couldn't have quoted a score to you, but it was just from the get-go, you could see that both of them were super tuned in. And then we saw the wheel, and like there was mixed bag, which is tough. But I was looking around and I didn't see a lot of the really, really tough Star Wars categories. So it was a pretty favorable wheel for both of them. I thought that was going to be an easy 10 points in both players' favors.
And by
maybe the speed round, but watching that, the answer the exact same. Yes.
What's up?
Hey, Coy.
That Star Wars match was pretty all right.
It was. You know what? I know we're just getting to it now.
We are just getting to it.
I'm going to say it. That was the greatest Star Wars match since the Iron Man match, and I'm going to say it's better than the Iron Man match was. This was the pinnacle of Star Wars play.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Because Iron Man match is designed to answer as many questions as you can. This did that without that expectation.
Mm-hmm.
In about as much time, and they answered more questions.
Yeah, it had the same feel of an Iron Man match. Actually, I think a really underrated match would be the Damon Scrimshaw match. But
agreed, that's an underrated one. But I mean, like what we saw tonight is it's Ali Frazier.
Like this was I just want to paint you guys a picture of what it was like watching this match for me. It was every round inching closer and closer to the edge of the couch until they go into sudden death, and I'm pacing around my ottoman at this point, and I'm like, they haven't missed. We're going to be here all night, boys. We're going to be here all night. And my fiance's on the couch saying, calm down. It's just Star Wars. It's just trivia. And I'm like, you don't understand.
Shut up.
You don't understand. And she loves the show. Shout out to Justine. I love you. But this was a fantastic match to the point where when they say Alex Damon is still champion, I drop to the floor and I'm like, it's over. And then I like spring out of my grave when the challenge happens. I'm like, fair challenge. You're right. I'm back to pacing. And I'm just when you see the joy in DeMolanta and the tears, you just can't. I teared up.
Yeah,
this is a fantastic match.
That's right up there with Roka's reaction to winning his first title.
Ah! Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I remember my ears breaking that day.
Yeah, I was actually thinking it reminded me a lot of Smets winning his. And just it's the elation that went over his face of like pushing himself to the very limit and finally attaining it. And
so we've got
DeMolanta has had a number of those "Don't Tell Peter" moments, and they've just served to drive him farther.
Okay, I think so. We have somebody who wants to join in, and it is not Coy, but it is somebody kind of close. Hey, Lou.
Hey, I said to myself, I have a new jersey, so might as well just show it off. All right, no.
I only agreed to this because Frenchie wasn't going to be here.
Hey, look. I live to disappointment. By that. No, but seriously, I wasn't supposed to be on, but with the hell of a match we got, I couldn't resist just putting my 2 cents in. Holy crapping hell of a match, guys.
Right?
I could be like, when it's like it's over, like Dave said, it's over. It's like, okay, he won it. That was an amazing match. And then challenge. And then it started running my head. Like, he might be right. And when you saw he was right, you can see Damon was shaking up. And the way he was shaking up was like, no, this is not happening. This is not happening. It fucking happened.
Oh my god, so good.
Yeah.
It was the only time I left the room because I thought that if they were going at such a high level, that sudden death would go forever. So I thought I could just walk away. And I went downstairs, and then I heard, "And you're a winner!" And I just started saying the F word about 30 times to get back on TV. Like, shit. And yeah, and then
Before like I said, I'm not going to stay long because I'm not really doing podcasts right now. But I just wanted to, because I see also Koi's in the chat. We really want to congratulate on your success on tonight, and in general, but especially on tonight, the work you must have done for the results we saw on the screen, man. 51-50, having 51 points. That must have been a hell of a study session, man, and training. So congratulations to all your effort. You really deserved it, man.
Yeah, no kidding. And you can tell that Koi being Andrew's manager definitely helped.
Yeah,
you're on mute, Dave. You're on mute.
I loved seeing Koi talk about the work that went in. It's like we haven't slept yet.
we can tell, Koi. We can tell.
Yeah.
My question is, have you sat?
No kidding.
But hearing Koi talk about like how much preparation went into all this, saying we were running drills yesterday with Bibiani and getting the whole faction in on this. I talked about this last week. Koi, and I'm not just saying this because he's in the chat. You guys can go back to last week's episode and see. Koi wins the award for most. Shut up. You're going to talk
you
to
don't
me?
Want to talk, Lou.
You said it.
I don't just kiss it, I lick it. But that's
Koi wins the award for most improved manager of all time. Like, this is showing that hard work pays off, both for Koi and for Andrew. This is just a impressive feat. And I don't know that I've ever seen Star Wars at this point.
I said in our group chat, I gave up on this match yesterday. There's no way I could have competed.
Oh my god.
I'd actually have to disagree with that, just on the grounds of Koi has always been a good manager. Maybe if we count the one match back in Anarchy, but like last year, his managerial style, and I think it's developing further because he kept a lot of the same pieces, and a lot of these guys are really close to Koi.
Yeah,
but I do think it's kind of the same style from last year, and it really does work.
Yeah.
Much along with like there is a subset of the managers that are on the top of their game, and Koi, along with Roxy and some others that I won't shill for in this current moment, are the like top of the game.
Now,
all right. Now, before you go on, I am gonna step away. I just wanted to say hi to the boys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taco, by the way, for stepping in and replacing me. It's really appreciated.
My pleasure. I needed to talk.
You could never fully replace the sexiness that is me, but at least you're trying. All right. So,
all right. You take care, Lou.
All right. Thank you, and keep up the good work, boys.
Yeah, I got about 20 pounds to go until I can replace it.
Yeah, honestly, I can't wait to see you guys do your jobs in person. But
yeah,
I don't know. From watching Koi's managerial style, you're right. He's a great manager, but I get the feeling like it's like being in a summer camp.
Yeah,
right.
Summer camp is a great way to describe what I think the quirky parts are. I want to get back a little bit to the match for a second, though. Daniel, you said something interesting, which was you didn't think there were any of the harder categories on the wheel. Like, what do you think the harder categories in Star Wars are that these guys would try
elaborate?
to
Well, it's the broad categories like mixed bag, weapons and tech, heroes and villains. The ones that could shoot you a question from Return of the Jedi in one instance and Attack of the Clones the next, and then Rogue One. Like it requires your brain to move into multiple directions at the same time. Whereas I'm sure a lot of these competitors at this point, when you tell them Return of the Jedi, they can essentially narrow their brain.
Thank you very much for watching, boy. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your victory.
Anything that's outside of it.
No, that makes sense. It's hard to imagine a hard category for these guys, and I wish that I honestly wish that this was a worse match, so that there was more like granular things that we could talk about, other than saying they never missed. These guys looked great.
For real.
And let's not forget, they didn't use their first JTEs until sudden death,
which watching this
insane. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just had an analogy. Watching this match was like watching two boxers punch each other in the face, and the person who loses is the guy who breaks the most knuckles. Like they're not gonna fall over. Just one guy's like, "All right, man, I'm out." Like that was this match.
You know, that's reminded me of Rocky Drago.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, to put it into movie terms, Rocky Drago. Like
20 rounds.
The underdog coming up against like the supreme movie trivia machine, and like you think it's gonna be over soon, but no, man, just like right up to the very end, right up to the last minute, last round.
Like Andrew DiMolanta is totally the Rocky of the Star Wars division.
Yeah,
because there was like he's been fighting since day one, and I had forgotten just because he's such a big personality that he came in through Patreon auditions when that
I didn't even know that, to be honest. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
But like there is even people like Chance and Oyama, like there maybe except for Jader, there is no humbler beginnings than I was a patron and I auditioned.
I threw Janine in there too as a humble beginning.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and then losing that 5-way, and then losing to Laura Kelly, but then just crushing the tournament.
And then
he came in 0-2.
Yeah.
He was 0-2 entering that tournament.
Yeah,
0-2. Frenchie tried to trade me him for frickin' Drew McQueenie last year, and I was like, whatever. Drew's gonna be in the game forever. I don't need no 0-2 Star Wars guy. And then Drew McQueenie retired, and I was like, what? And then DiMolanta went on that run. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, to quote the French vernacular, tabarnak.
Who would have saw that coming, all right?
Yeah, right.
I thought he was insulting me.
The thing that really impressed me also is the speed at which this game went, because there was barely a beat in between Mark finishing the questions in round 2 and the guys saying, "Oh, that's the answer," and it almost seemed like such a chore. It's like, why are you asking me this?
Well, and then to add on to that, round 4, they both finished with 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it was insane.
And Alex was pausing and being like, I want to make sure I get the quote right. Yeah. And then still so much time. I think I got Theeds, and that was it.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Good in it.
I got Jar Jar.
The one thing you can say about this match for sure is that they did not need to, at least for me, they did not need to put that message before the match of like no answers in the chat because it's a live show. And it's like, I didn't have one. I did not have one, I'm sure. I might have had.
I actually did okay. I missed a couple, but no, I was going to say Ellis's face when Andrew when Alex finishes, he goes, "All right, we're done, Christian," because Christian's at the clock, and he's like, "No, he's done already."
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, okay.
I always love the looks on Christian's face when Mark's telling the speed round, because you can tell when Alex gets about halfway through his speed round, you look at Christian's face and it's like, okay, good. I'm not going to have to remember Alex missed the 6th question. This is going to be a 10 for 10 game.
Yeah, this is the first 10 for 10, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Double 10 for 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, IG
No.
has had double perfect rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's also been perfect rounds where like they just both passed on a question. So they perfect 9 for 9, which is still perfect.
A lot of times they don't lose the spread. It just like 8 points, or 10 points, 10 points. Like a lot of times they keep the spread it just gets inflated.
And let's not forget, no multiple choices either.
Which
I know.
Yeah,
That's-
and a lot of people did kind of point that out, like in the first couple of lightning rounds, I guess we still call them, and they pointed out that the spread doesn't change. But the like 2 occasions that I can really remember it happening was Founding Fathers winning the belt and then losing it. So like the 2 biggest crazy things, actually no, it was Shazam winning the belt and then losing it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Founding Fathers dropping a bunch of points in that lightning round, and then like the Odd Couple doing it but still managing to eke out the win was 2 different spectrums of insane.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, we've had all this, and then we get into the sudden death, and then you all of a sudden hear Alex declare the winner. But hold on a second. We have a challenge.
Oh. And I know Koi's not here anymore, so it's definitely not kissing ass. I'm glad Koi was like, yes, I'm going to challenge this. Let's do this.
Well, okay. Think about Koi's point of view. Are you going to be like, I don't know, maybe I know more about the Star Wars movies than Devilanta knows, and maybe I should issue this challenge? I'd be like, yeah, dude, talk.
Yeah,
you know.
Who is he, Rand Paul?
I did love that the rebuttal, if we're going to be using legal terms, to the challenge. They didn't even bring Roxy on. They're just like, Alex, please tell us.
I don't think I noticed that until now. Yeah, they did bring you on.
Which, like, you could have not brought Koi on except to say, yes, this is an official challenge, because Roxy and Koi had no idea what the words were.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Technically, Koi has to initiate or whatever.
He has to
formally put in the challenge. Yeah.
And as much as this match was nerve-wracking, that's when it's like I started to get that pit in that stomach, like, oh my god, can this actually keep going? Like, holy shit.
I put it in our group text. I was like, they're gonna have to cancel the rest of the Star Wars division. Yeah. They're gonna use all the questions tonight.
And Mark said the same thing. Like, you might as well just start asking singles questions at this point.
My thought was like, are we still gonna do this live stream? Like, are we?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, and we're now at hour 4 of the Damon match.
Yeah, we would have to.
PJ's just texting Christian on the spot. Like, all right, ask him this.
So, Lou asked the question: do you all agree with the decision with Harloff's call?
Yeah. Yes. Because I think, and this is the problem when you get so granular like Star Wars is, something like a quote, there is like, what was his initial concern? But then it's like, it's a sentence, but then Lando interjects, but then Nine Nub continues, and then Lando talks more, and it's like, is that all the continual thought, which is they both have the right answer? And Alex even says this in his post-match, which is, I wish there was just one answer, but that's not the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and
also, an important thing, so Neenub is a Sullustan with a liquid tongue. We can't understand him, right? He speaks an alien language. And the question is, what is he saying? Like, it's quoting Neenub, who we don't even know. He's going, blah, 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 blah. So it was really hard to specifically say what he was saying. Like, we can only go off of the couple things that Lando says in response.
Yeah.
So it's really vague. because I could have just been like, "Hey, man, they're jamming us. This is going on. This is going on."
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how he said it. He doesn't. He has a liquid tongue. He's a Sulliston. Come on.
Yeah, there was no subtitles either, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Star Wars has never done subtitles, and I don't want them to.
They do have.
Oh, they do sometimes. I don't want them to, though.
Yeah.
No, like
Learn the language.
Well, that's my point. Is I can definitely remember, like, there are lines there, like Chewbacca is saying things. They wrote lines for him. We just don't hear them.
We don't know what they are. Yeah,
the audience don't speak Wookiee.
And a little bit of a tangent, but have you ever seen the footage of the actor saying the lines as Chewbacca, as Peter Mayhew doing it? So weird. And then also to hear David Prowse do Vader's lines, it's like
those are the weirdest.
Yeah,
because he has that accent. Bring me those prisoners. I want them alive. It's like, whoa.
Vader's a dandy.
Vader's a British bodybuilder.
But no, I agree with the call, and I'm glad that the challenge was upheld.
Yeah,
because
and I agree with Ben on this. It was the best use of a challenge.
Oh, completely.
Well, I think
and Roxy also nailed it right on the head. Like, you don't want to go home after this match going, yeah, but you know what? I was right as well. Like, you had to make that challenge.
Yeah. I think best challenge still goes to Real Rejects. Technically, he's not the Hobgoblin; he's the new Goblin.
Right.
I think that's still my favorite.
I forgot about that.
That's not bad, but I like Chandru's as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good challenges.
He like quoting of precedent and the two people who were playing in the match when the precedent happened. I was so impressed with that.
What? I'm going to put this out here right now. We should do a tier list for our 200 subscriber spectacular of the best challenges in Schmoedown history. We should do that. I think that's a great show idea. Tell me in the chat that you want that.
I don't know. I actually I like the concept, but I wouldn't say tier. How about we do a bracket?
Oh, I like that. I like it. You know what, Soda? Remember when I said shut up? Keep talking.
Also, like, along with like throw in suggestions, because watching the entirety of the Schmoedown just to find out, like, they don't tally which matches have challenges. So if you have suggestions for specific matches with challenges in them,
I'll tell you right now, if the 1820s or 1920s, whichever one, like, challenge is even in there, then I don't want to watch it.
That was
a little petty work,
for sure. That might be
was it 60s, whatever it was. That's one of my least favorite. Like, I felt embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah,
here's the thing. I loved it. I loved that challenge.
I hated it. My wife got mad. She barely even watches the show, and she's like, "Really?" My wife got upset. She doesn't even care. She's not
my
invested.
answer to that would have been: there were no movies in the 1860s.
No, actually, I think he was quoting that the riot in the movie.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like there wasn't riots in Detroit
in the movie, and what decade that happened, or century?
But when does Star Wars happen?
In a galaxy.
Was that what we're talking about?
A long, long time
1977.
ago. Which we are a long, long time ago from our conversation about Star Wars.
Exactly.
So.
That's why I brought it back, Daniel. You're picking up what I'm throwing down.
You guys run a tight ship. Can we talk about the Detroit riots more or not?
Yeah.
No, let's talk
about
I'm
here.
Detroit Red.
How about the draft riots of the Civil War? Let's talk about that.
You know what? This is Schmoedown night in Canada, not in America. All right, we'll talk about.
All right, cool. So you're being nationalist now. All right, cool. All right, it's fine.
Okay, I just want to bring this up. When I first saw it, I didn't catch the word sass. I saw Dan getting some ass.
I also read it as getting some ass. Anyway. So
I thirdly read it that way.
All right, let's get back to the match. And I want to yell at you guys.
The final question, which I don't know if Daniel had the same response that I did, where in our interview with Marie E. Wilson, she talked about having to identify clone troopers at Dragon Con, which And Alex Damon lost Dragon Con last year because he was unable to identify a clone trooper.
Mhm.
And then seeing the Bly question come up, I was like, oh my God, it's going to happen to him again. No, don't do it.
And like you can see, he has since memorized.
I actually
them,
did know
because
why.
you can
I was-
see while watching it. You can see the gears turning as he's running through each one that he knows, and it's just clicking and clicking and clicking, and he doesn't get to this one in time.
Ooh, go to bed.
And it honestly, I was so disappointed because I mean I love Koi. I think Andrew is one of the best Star Wars competitors. It's so hard for me to pick between this like trio at the top of Kelly, DiMolanta, and Damon because they're all so goddamn amazing. But
I wish that they were doing a triple threat. I know points wise.
I wonder, can Andrew
It would
now
have
make
taken
that?
3 hours.
Can Andrew
no,
make
Been
that
the
happen?
longest match of all time.
Well, Laura Kelly came in at the end, and she will be playing at Collision,
Yeah,
which
Collision,
is
yeah.
after the Dame Alonta
Well,
Damon rematch.
Well, to be fair, we didn't catch all that. We just said we just heard see you at Collision. So I don't know if it's the winner of her and Molly going to Collision, or if her and Molly are at Collision.
Why would Molly be at Collision? That match happened.
Who's she facing?
Either
She's got a title shot. Damon or DiMolanta, whoever wins the rematch.
Soda, do me a favor. Just turn off your camera. You're in timeout for
And
10
go
seconds.
watch the first episode of the season because you messed up on the Mayan Challenger thing too.
Remember the
When was
last time we were
Tom
here
Talbot
doing
was
this?
here?
He has a title shot. Or she has a title shot.
But I know, like, strategically, points wise, it does not make sense for it to be a three-way because you're losing out on a potential 7-8 points. But I wish we could have a Dame Alonta Kelly Damon match, because now the terrible thing is because now after Roxy Stryer quotes Survivor, I'm obviously the biggest Roxy Stryer fan, stars for life. She is the man. She's the greatest of all time. Robbed for manager of the year last year.
Whoa! All right.
But
what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. But I want Damon to win because I love Alex Damon, and now obviously huge Stars fan. But I also would love to see Laura Kelly Dame Alonta 2 for the title. Like, who doesn't want to see that?
God.
I want to see that. I would love to see that. I love Dame Alonta. By the way, I got him in both my fantasy leagues. Just saying. But I at this point, I do have to say that this doesn't prove either Dame Alonta or Damon are better than each other. I really want to say they're freaking equal.
Yeah.
I want to quote Scrimshaw, whatever, multiple years ago when he said, "It's down to who has the first brain fart." It just took an hour and a half to have a brain fart this time.
Exactly.
They did 50 questions before, or 50 points before a brain fart. But they're both so insanely good. It's I can't say one's better than the other. You just can't. I can't say Dame Alonta is better. I can't, and I can't say Alex is better. Dame Alonta has proven himself. I honestly think they're equal.
We've got a wounded Alex now.
I really think Alex Damon will become the Dan Murrell of Star Wars.
He is already.
He already is.
No, but here's the thing. I mean, with that, I agree because he is the GOAT of Star Wars because 3 years, 6 defenses. What I more mean is champions will come, champions will go, but no champion will be there without the threat of Alex Damon being
completely
one match away from taking that title from you.
Because it's literally somebody takes a belt from Murrell, that guy gets beaten by another person, and then Murrell beats that guy, and then another person takes the belt from Murrell. Somebody, it's always like that. Murrell has to play 3 matches to beat you. That's it. And you only have to play 1 to lose.
Let's not forget last year, the first match of the year, Murrell wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah, that was just,
and then he wins and he goes on to the title.
Yeah, and I
was he not?
No, because it was supposed to be Marv versus Smash.
The kid and Bibbs. Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be there.
but then
Well,
because
I mean,
Mara
he
had to
was
pull out.
and he
No,
wasn't.
I thought it was the other way around. No, I thought Kid wasn't supposed to be there. It was
No,
Miz
it was-
versus
no,
him, and then
because
Kid. You,
Why are we debating what the premiere of last season was?
this is
Also,
about Star Wars here.
also,
We're talking
like,
about Star Wars.
you're both technically right.
Thank you,
Bibbs,
Dave.
Bibbs and
Daniel.
Dan would have been the number one contender. The Kid is the one who was added by Bibiani's free number one contendership shot, and that match was not supposed to be scheduled for that night. It was supposed to be a different undercard to go with Mara versus Smets.
See,
But
this is what I
to
like
move
with Daniel.
I
back
still want to see.
to move back to Damon and Andrew.
Wait, what?
Like I really would kind of enjoy if the Schmoedown gave Andrew DiMolanta the same offer they gave Damon, of like, you have two opponents with title shots against you coming up. They're both scheduled. Do you want one and then the other, or do you want the triple threat?
He wouldn't do it though. He'd rather do two.
Like, because the advantage they gave Damon was the free rematch. That's his advantage for being a champion for that long. The option of the triple threat was because he's current champion, not because of his defenses.
No, I think here's the thing.
The same thing should be given to DiMolanta.
I don't agree with that, because I think the only reason Alex is even getting an automatic rematch is because of the 5 title defenses. Because ever since that rule has been changed by Burnett last year, where it's no longer you defend the belt twice, you have to defend the belt 5 times before you get an automatic rematch. Alex Damon, he is probably the only person who will ever cross that threshold. So I don't think the stakes,
because I think if he lost the triple threat, he still had his rematch. Like, you can't rescind the rematch. So I still think they should give DiMolanta the option of taking Damon and Kelly at the same time.
I don't want that option because I don't want to see it.
Sounds a lot weirder than I meant it.
I don't want that, because I think then we're robbed of one amazing Star Wars match in favor of one. We're robbed of 2 amazing Star Wars matches in favor of one pretty good match, because I honestly would rather have just straight up 1v1s or teams all the time. But let's talk about that a little bit before we close out the show. DiMolanta is going up against Damon in 2 months. Do we think he has what it takes to defend the title?
Well, like I said, we've got a wounded Damon now, which we've never seen. So, yeah,
you got an angry Damon though. Wounded. No one shot him, man. He's pissed off. He ain't wounded. He didn't get hurt. He's angry. I wouldn't call him wounded at all. I call him motivated.
Yeah, and
come on.
The only problem is, I think, is he, because when he was the champion, I think it was easier to commit to Inner Geekdom. But now he has a number 2 contenders match against the Barbarian next week or the week after, I believe. And then if he wins that, he's got Mike Kalinowski. So I think this is best case scenario. If Damon beats Barbarian, this is
not going to happen, but keep going.
We'll see. This is best case scenario for DiMolanta, because Alex will be forced to split his time. But I think if
he's already been doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it did not show. It did not show that he was splitting his time.
Yeah, can't you tell that he was split?
He didn't know.
No shit, eh?
He didn't know why the unnamed character from one scene in Revenge of the Sith in the montage.
And they mispronounced the Twi'lek Jedi's name. It's Ayla Secura. You called her like Alayla.
Yeah. If you only know that if you read the visual dictionary, watch the Clone Wars, or have subtitles on to see who received.
I've watched hundreds of hours of Star Wars versus videos from multiple YouTube channels. I know every single Jedi. I'm a nerd. Frenchie, go to sleep.
You're back.
Go to bed, man.
Yawn.
What is he doing?
Yeah, but I think if if Damon loses to Barbarian, we will see we will see Damon retake the belt in May. But if Damon is having to prepare for a number one contenders match in IG and a Star Wars singles and a Star Wars title shot, I think that's a recipe for losing both matches.
If he can keep his knowledge at exactly where it's at right now and gain IG without losing any Star Wars, he's fine. But I just don't see how that's possible.
No,
like your brain has data, man. You got to lose something.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw this last year in the Star Wars tournament, right? Andrew DeMolante's first match was perfect against Scrimshaw. But then it was it wasn't perfect against Molly, and it wasn't perfect against Ace. So it's a matter of, can Andrew maintain this? We've seen Alex go perfect a handful of times.
Now that he has Coy's as manager, I think he can. Coy will be able to rein in the bad habits.
What? You mean Tom Dagnino wasn't reining in the bad habits?
No comment.
I was gonna say, like, we got to look at it from an aspect of how often Scrimshaw performed at a high pace prior to joining the Quirky Mercs, which we saw from his match last year, that there is definitely, like, again, there is a study regimen when you're on Coy's faction. So and to that end, I do believe that the Alex doing both of those things isn't going to hurt as much as you'd think. It's a lot harder to double up singles in IG than it is to double up Star Wars in IG. If you're a Star Wars competitor, let's be frank about that.
Yeah,
because it's an insane division. But because there will always be scheduled Star Wars study time in your IG study schedule, whether or not you're proficient at it. You don't stop studying the things you're good at. You refresh them. So he will have those Star Wars study sessions still in his time.
But it's still an advantage for Demolanta, a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
A little bit, yes. And also,
I'm not going to say he's like going to suck all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Demolanta also, I mean, they both also live with other full-time Star Wars competitors. So it does help.
Two active competitors.
Yeah. To constantly have a study partner.
Yeah. Now, before we wrap up, let's say in some fantasy world, or maybe in the real world, we'll see in May, DeMolanta retains the belt. We don't have to worry. We don't have to think who's going to win the tournament. Which of the Dragon Con kids is going to come through and win? We know it's Laura Kelly. How do we think he stacks up against Laura Kelly at this given juncture? Soda, I'll let you refrain.
I'm not going to doubt
your feelings.
Yeah, it's true. You do. Laura Kelly for life. No,
Daniel.
Yeah, the same way I mentioned it in her match. If, like, Andrew could have beaten anyone tonight, it does not matter who you put in front of him. The way he was playing. And I felt the same thing about Laura Kelly in her number one contenders match of, like, if she had been playing Alex that night, she would have been champion. And the difference is she was playing a number one contenders match at the time. Yeah. And so it's going to come down to where they are in that curve of up and down in your study and your preparation and your drive. And I will cheer for Laura Kelly, I think. So again, it's the whole trio, but I really think Laura Kelly can, and I think she will be the next Star Wars champion that I don't know if she's beating Demolanta or Damon, but I do think she's going to beat one of them.
I think she'll win because by that point she'll be back on corruption.
I mean, that just gives me more
Bold
reason
statement.
to cheer for her. Bring it.
Yeah, I before she retires, she's going to be a Star Wars champion.
Oh,
It's just a matter. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
yeah. It's like
am
watching
I
a
allowed to
kid.
say something unpopular?
Go ahead.
Be very careful. Soda has shown that he will kick you out of this room for not liking Hercules.
All right. Well,
Or her.
no comment on Hercules. Forgettable film. But
Okay.
Sorry.
so let's. I'm no, and I have to be true to
That is
myself,
the
and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna
Sorry,
say.
Taco, I'm sorry. Daniel, that's the funniest thing you've ever said. And nobody's gonna find it funny, but I love it. That's the best.
It was good.
Hercules.
Yeah.
Taco, please go on. I believe you were going to say you think Andrew DiMolanto's going to win.
I mean, it's a pun. It's fine. It's not like the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It's a Google-worthy pun.
All right. I mean, I've seen what Canadians can do. I've seen Letterkenny. Like, that's like subpar, but compared to Letterkenny. But anyways, I got an unpopular opinion, and I wanna voice it. I after tonight, I don't really know if I put Laura Kelly even in the top 3 of the Star Wars people. I put her at number 4. And I think that she has a possibility of winning if, I mean, we've seen Andrew Guy beat Dan Burrow. Like, she has a possibility if Demolanta just craps the bed. Of course, anyone has a possibility of winning. But I honestly think the 3rd best Star Wars player is Scrimshaw. And I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I think that he proved it when he fought Demolanta in sadly the first round. It should have been the first round, but the first round of the Star Wars tournament, that he is on the same level as those two. And I really do think in the Scrimshaw Damon match in Star Wars Celebration a couple years ago, like, that proved to me that guy's on the exact same level as Damon. I really do think that, and I want him to work his way up and earn a fight or earn a title shot. And sure, Laura Kelly might take it to Collision. I don't know, man. Maybe. I guess I just don't see it happening. Not to talk crap about Laura Kelly. I'm sorry, guys.
No, like I said, it's just a matter. It's not if; it's a matter of when.
You're aware she's coming off. She's also coming off a perfect game, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're right.
She's also, like,
I
statistically.
forgot about the perfect game until you guys keep bringing it up. I really
She's
did.
like also
the third
only
best.
lost to Ace because she's clearly not a Weird Al fan.
Yeah, no kidding.
Actually,
that's how I know anything about Phantom Menace is that fucking song.
I love
I'll
that
be
song.
fair. I'll be fair to Ace, and I'll look up his accuracy, but I don't think it's 92%. No, it's 86. So her 92% accuracy still puts her number 3 in the division, and she's played a bunch of close to perfect games on top of her perfect game, her last showing. There's not much doubt in my mind that Laura Kelly might be, like, the best Star Wars competitor. She just hasn't been in Star Wars for decades like everyone else.
That is true. That is true. She said it was like what?
But
I've been there as long as Demolanta. Didn't they come in the exact same time?
No.
I
They're
meant-
saying
No, as in
Her
Laura
first
Kelly
Star
hasn't
Wars
been a
movie
fan of
was The
Star
Force
Wars
Awakens.
that long.
all right,
She came in because of the
Oh.
Disney stuff.
and you can
You
find out
want to learn
all
more about that? Watch your episode of Northern Consultations with Laura
I
Kelly.
love us, Soda, because I had.
I don't watch-
saying that.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of your guys' stuff unless I'm on it.
Get this.
Me too.
All right, and with I hate all of you. I watch everything. And with that, though,
You
I
have to
think
edit it.
unless we have anything else to say, I think this is a pretty good place with Taco's unpopular opinion to end the show.
Well, we couldn't end
I
it
can
on
talk
her
about
phone.
how this
We
is
might as well.
the greatest play we've ever seen more, because I do really think this is the highest level of play we have ever seen. 51-50, I think.
Yeah,
Going 100% perfect until somebody brain farts at the end after 50 points. And even like not only the questions, but you're talking about a good challenge. Even the challenges were good. Like no one was being petty. It was perfect play.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Exactly.
Like I don't think we're gonna. I hate to. I know there's a recency bias, but this is the best game I think I've ever seen, and I don't like saying that, but
this
I do
to
believe
me
it.
falls into the same category as Cushing Kanopik and the first the first throwdown with Cushing and Kalinowski and Roca and Merle, where if you're going to introduce somebody to this glorious thing that we watched called the Schmoedown, this is one of those matches where you sit down and like, okay, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And
as long as they are a massive Star Wars fan, because otherwise they're going to say, "What are we even watching?"
Well, that's my problem. Is you can't really show anyone one match. I do believe you need like 3 of them, and you need to show them like a character match, a competition match, and then one of these.
Yeah.
Like I like Clark Wolf's first match. That's a great one to show anyone. And then I would go for a big character match, probably something with the Outlaw or the Patriots. And then thirdly, you show them
or the Wildberries.
You show them a wild ass championship match where every piece of pressure is just pushing down. And I think the Star Wars division is so good that it's making it get harder and harder to disagree with adding new divisions that are super focused.
Yeah. Man, this is
I still want a horror division, but I'm just that guy.
And
horror would be great. Disney
and I'm
would
still
be
for
great.
the MCU. I'm still for the MCU.
No, don't give him that. Don't give him that. Get him out. He's not on the show tonight. Get him out of here. We're ending the show. Taco, where can they find you?
Nowhere.
Great, please.
No, I'm actually I'm not like these guys. I don't talk about Schmoedown often, and I don't have a YouTube channel. But not anymore. I have 2 dead YouTube channels, but you don't want to know about those. But I am actually a fine artist. I'm an acrylic painter, so you can find me on Instagram at Mark Taco Face, and you can check out my really weird art.
Okay.
I didn't know
Daniel.
That was way too aggressive.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You can find me all around these parts on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, Schmoes of the North, and as soon as I'm actually finished it, I had some issues with my second episode of my podcast, and then I had some issues with the second recording of the second episode of my podcast. So
Don't show that.
Yeah, that one actually, it is just an issue of multiple edits rather than I lost a whole episode that I recorded with a friend. That was sad.
Yeah,
but
that's rough.
Yeah, that'll be out very soon. It's going to be on How I Met Your Mother, and that's the Best TV Show podcast. It can be found both here on our YouTube channel and also on audio podcast platforms all over the place.
I'm still pissed that one got swept out from underneath me.
We can be found at the show can be found at the BTVS pod on Twitter, and I can be found at Avengers_SOTN. That's Avengers with a Canadian little EH. And Tasoda, I guess.
Yeah, so you can find me on this channel, obviously doing all this stuff. You can find me over in the Media Sweaties Network as well, where I'm on Recap in the Past with myself and Ben Rayner, where we just sit down and review seasons of our favorite sitcoms. On Shooting the Breeze every Thursday night, where we just sit down and we talk with people from around the sphere that we are friends of ours or we've never met before. Last night's episode was with Jay Scotty for Real. Which was a great episode. We started off on director's cuts, and we just, as usual, ended up all over. Last week with Alex Shawshek, we talked about cults. And then once upon a time, Lou broke my brain with transcendentalism. I'll never forget that one. And also, you can also find me on our flagship show, which was going live tomorrow morning. Guess our top 5 of whatever tomorrow morning. Top 5 foods.
Wow.
Poutine, number 1.
Top 5
Yeah,
foods.
tacos are number 1.
No, pizza déjeuner, breakfast pizza from Quebec.
Breakfast
But
poutine.
That's
Tacos? Are you kidding me?
Taco, I'm
And this
with you.
show.
It's tacos. Hey, whoa. First of all,
Yeah.
Dave. What about you? Where?
you can find me here on Schwartz of the North.
On a new
doing
show?
this every week. Daniel, a new show, do you say?
Yes.
Ladies and
Finally.
gentlemen, for months now, maybe 6 months to a year, Soda and I have been teasing a
9
comic
years.
book show.
Shut up, Daniel.
A comic book show coming to your ear holes soon. We are
Yes.
happy to announce that next week we will be bringing our first episode of the Canadian Comic Book Corner featuring Soda and Dave on Zack Snyder's The Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder's The Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
Fuck, I fucked it up. Anyway.
Sure.
You did
Yeah.
so good until you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we are very happy to have that show coming out. It's been a long time coming. We're all very passionate about it.
Yes.
And make sure you subscribe to Schmoes of the North. We are getting very close to 200 subscribers. Mount
More
Schmoedown.
subscribers.
8 more subscribers is all we need. You get classic episodes of Mount Schmoedown every week and new live episodes of player profile breakdowns. Great match breakdowns every single week, twice a week. We have a very special breakdown coming this Sunday. Not going to say what it is, but you guys will have to tune in to find out.
Yes, man, sir, and it's gonna be quite the time. All right, so thank you very much.
At this point, we need just a reel of all of these that we could just play at the end so we can leave.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? But yeah, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. All those of you who have joined us in the through this journey, Koi for being in the chat, which is very much a pleasant surprise. And again, thank you very much, Taco, for joining the show, as Lou said earlier. And don't forget, everybody, we will see you all next week on Schmoedown Night in Canada. Talk to you later.
Also see you on Sunday because that's when the next episode posts on Sunday. Go check it out on Sunday.
That too.